Canada. So I'm here with Jedi Senshi out here in magnificent Oshawa, Ontario, and we're going to do a little bit of a walking tour of sort of the I guess you'd say the main um, retail strip or commercial strip of
Four
Oshawa.
Corners, down that way.
The crossroads sort of thing. So we'll give you a little history, a little backstory on Oshawa and some of the things in Oshawa. We're going to start the tour here right now at Parkwood Estate, which we can just see it. Unfortunately, their gates are closed for the night. They close at like 5 p.m. or so.
Mm-hmm.
But Parkwood Estate was originally built by Robert Mclaughlin, who is a major figure here in southern Ontario, and he was born in 1836, and he started the Mclaughlin Carriage Company, which later became the Mclaughlin Motor Car Company. Which eventually was bought out by General Motors, which has a huge manufacturing plant here in Oshawa. And the plant actually closed down in 2019, but I think they're starting to talk about reopening it.
Some of it.
Mm-hmm. So he was a major figure here in Oshawa. He was actually, I think, the mayor of Oshawa, but only for 1 year, back in the 1890s. So he's got a long history in the community, and there's been a lot of things named after him and his sons.
And his daughter Adelaide.
And his daughter Adelaide, there you go. So we're going to take a walk around the back of the property. So unfortunately, we can't get into the property right now because the gates are all closed, but we'll go and take a look what we can see from the other side. So did a little bit of preliminary research on the city of Oshawa, and the name Oshawa comes from the Ojibwe term Ashawe, which apparently means the crossing, right? Katie knows this too. growing up in Durham region, right? So,
all my life.
And it was back in the 1760s when the French coureurs de bois, some of the early fur traders, set up a trading post down at the lake just south of here, and they traded furs with the natives in exchange for goods that they brought over from Europe. And eventually that trading post became sort of the focal point of what sort of began spreading out into the community of Oshawa. So, and that's been around, 1760s basically is when the history, the European history of this part of Ontario starts. And Oshawa is about 60 kilometers east of Toronto. And it sort of forms the eastern portion of the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area. So we'll do a little bit of a trade-off of direction here. So, and of course, across the street from Parkwood Estate is the Oshawa General Hospital, otherwise known as the Lakeridge Health.
We call it the OGH.
The OGH, yes. So, and of course, that wasn't around. I don't think it was around at all in any form back then.
No.
This is the actual carriage house for. This would have probably been where he started his carriage company. He eventually outgrew the space that he was in, and his sons were partners with him for a little while as well. And then one son became the vice president of General Motors, and the other one became a chemist. Who actually, here's a good one. His other son, I think it was Samuel Mclaughlin, became a chemist. Eventually started a soft drink company and invented Canada Dry Ginger Ale. So there's a little bit of history of Canada Dry. I never knew that before, so that was one thing I found out here. Yeah, so learn a new thing every day. So hopefully there's a little bit of light back here. It's too bad there's no lights in the greenhouse themselves. So turn around again. Could almost sneak through there. Just sort of pull the gate open. Yeah, the gates to the parking area are all closed off, so. But, technically, yeah, either of us could. There you go. You get a bit of a view of the greenhouses. I think there might be a little better view from around here. So how is everyone this evening? It's a quiet evening here in Oshawa. Fortunately, the rain stopped. It was raining on and off, drizzling a little bit earlier today. So I was a bit worried about doing this broadcast in rain, but all is good. So here we go. Here's a little bit better view of the property. There you go. Now, anyone who's watching from another platform, like say Facebook Live or Twitter Live or Twitch or YouTube or anything like that, by all means, come on and join us on Haps. It's haps.tv, and our profile is at Car Hunger. That's CARRHUNGER. So to go there directly, it's haps.tv /at Car Hunger. CARRHUNGER. So, and later on this month, the last Sunday of the month, on the 24th, we are going to be doing the Remember Me broadcast. For those of you who are familiar with our broadcast and everything, every month we do a storytime broadcast where we write a story, and people who have either contributed or Art Lover, hey, how are you? Send some of that rain my way. It's drier than a popcorn fart here. Oh no. So anyone who either sponsors us or contributes awards during the course of a month gets included in a story time. What we're doing for October is a little bit different. We're doing the Remember Me storytime broadcast, and what it is, it's a tribute to the monarch butterfly and the Mexican Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. And anybody who has contributed a minimum of $5 in awards is eligible to enter names of somebody who's passed in their life. So for every $5, you get to enter one name, somebody dear to you who has passed on, whether it's a friend, a family member, a pet, even somebody that you looked up to, like a teacher or a mentor or anything along those lines. So for every $5, you get to include a name for us to read out, and a little, write up a little story about what this person means to you and who they were and that sort of thing. And the deadline for submissions for that is October 15th, so that we can get a bunch of people. We've got right now, we have, I can't remember how many people, but basically what we're going to do for every $60 that we raise in awards, we are going to contribute a donation to the World Wildlife Fund, Monarch Fund. And through that, we get a little bit of a sort of an incentive package and stuff like that, which will be awarded during the broadcast as to who gets that. But for every $60, so right now we've raised just a little under $100. We'd love to be able to get up all the way up to 120, so we can purchase 2 of these virtual monarch adoptions and get 2 of the packages to provide. So by all means, folks, we've still got room, we've still got time for more people to contribute. So the rest of Parkwood Estate is actually, it's too bad we're not here during the day, but they've got gardens and pathways, and I think there's a little labyrinth over at this end of the property, and a fountain area and all that sort of thing. So one of these days, oh yeah, that's right, yeah. The tea house. One of these days, Christine and I will come out here during the day, and maybe the 3 of us will do a walking broadcast during the day, and actually be able to walk around the grounds on Parkwood. Parkwood Estate's been used for a lot of film location shoots as well, film and television. So I don't even know half of the shows that have probably been here, but I know Star Trek has recently.
Dan Brown, Lost Symbol,
the Lost Symbol has?
Is on showcase on Monday at 8. Was done here.
Trying to remember, there was
X-Men.
Oh, X-Men, that's right. They used it as Xavier's mansion, the Xavier School. So yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff filming here.
Was filmed here.
Bomb Girls, yeah. It's a good time period too, because I think this place was built around the
1915 to 1917.
1917, yeah. So right during the course of World War I, the Great War. So let's move on. We'll find some more stuff to watch. Katie's going to be our tour guide because she grew up in the Durham region and she lives right here in Oshawa. So she knows this place like the back of her hand. So thanks to all of you who are joining us, and hopefully, Red Eye, hopefully you get a little bit of rain out there in Washington State. I know the interior can be a little bit dry sometimes. we've been getting rain on and off for the past few weeks anyway. You guys remember the thunderstorm broadcast that Christina did about 3 or 4 weeks ago? That was pretty epic. So, can we get through here?
No, not. Yeah.
Oh, is there a little stairway on the other side of the parking garage?
I suspect so. I've never been there.
Oh, okay, so we're going to find out.
But you might be able to get some good pictures.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there's too much light pollution from this end. It gets really dark on the other side. And let's take a look. Captain Kirk, hey, how are you? Hey, Frank, not sure I could ID the back of my hand in a police lineup. That's good. Hello from Galaxy City. Hey, Anthony. Hey, folks, thanks for joining in. Let's see if I can get a little shot of the gardens here in get the chain link out of the way. Unfortunately, it's a shot of some broken wooden posts here at the moment. But yeah, just through that area there is all the gardens and everything. I'm doing okay, Anthony. You know, struggling through what I'm going through, and you know, I really don't want the broadcast to be about that. You know, that's why I'm just going to do the walking tour of Oshawa tonight, and but holding out there, looking for solutions. And hey, we're going to go. That's okay. Apparently. Oh yeah, I see fences. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go around the other side. Tay.
Oh, yeah, go.
Yeah, they'll go around and go down Simcoe Street. So as I was saying earlier, there's quite a bit of history here in the Oshawa area, starting from about the 1760s with the fur trade. Of course, centuries before that with the First Nations Indians, the Ojibwe, the Mississaugas of the Credit. Trying to think of what other nations were around here. Hey, my hometown. Hold on, which anonymous Facebook user is this that says my hometown? Because I'm sure there was Red Eye that talked about the needing rain. So who would this one? By all means, anyone who's watching from another platform, come on over to Haps, because then you'll be able to. You almost didn't have to duck. Sorry. Come on over to Haps, because then you'll be able to see everyone else's comments. It was the birthplace of me. No, Lisa was born in Edmonton.
Oh, I
yeah.
thought
She was born. She was originally in Alberta. Oh yeah, a little gap in the hedgerow. I was going to say, hey, there's an opening, but no, it's a gate.
Can be an opening if you want it.
Yeah, really. I know there's a security guy on the grounds. I saw him driving around in a golf cart, so let's see if we can spot anything from this side.
Not really.
No. All the gardens are in the dark right now.
Yeah.
Okay. As we move on.
Oshawa after dark.
Oshawa after dark. So it could get interesting. Before the broadcast, 2 police cruisers went screaming past on Simcoe Street, heading north. So we'll probably see a lot of that. Police cars and ambulances.
Police department's down that way. Hospital's that way.
Yeah. Hospital's right here. Yeah. Yeah, for the longest time, Oshawa was known as the auto manufacturing capital of Canada. Until the General Motors plant closed down. My aunt actually worked for General Motors back in the 1980s as an assembler on the line. So I think she got faced with some of the layoffs even back then. So
Oshawa is also the birthplace of Northern dance, who now has about 90% of all thoroughbreds racing as in their bloodlines.
Oh wow! So there you go, Northern Dancer, the famous Canadian thoroughbred, right here in Oshawa.
Yep. Kentucky Derby, Estate.
Queen's Plate. Yeah.
DPT bought his property off Sam McLaughlin, actually.
Off of Samuel McLaughlin.
Yeah,
Okay.
became the national stud for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So they changed
The horse did,
Yeah.
not
The
Evie
horse,
Taylor.
not the person. It's not that type of broadcast.
Yeah, we're not that kind of broadcast.
But,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
up north, actually.
like she says, 90% of the thoroughbreds currently racing can trace their lineage back to Northern Dancer. So that's pretty amazing. That's like 90% of the world's population can trace our lineage back to Genghis Khan and his Mongolian conquest of Eastern Europe and a lot of Europe, actually. So we've all got a little bit of Mongolian in us.
Or Neanderthal.
Or Neanderthal. Yeah. So this here is Simcoe Street North. It's one of the main streets in Oshawa itself. Leads into downtown. And downtown you got a lot of shops and services and restaurants and stuff like that. And we'll see a few different places. There's some historical properties down there as well.
Or comic shops.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, Anthony Davis, on my father's side of the family, we can trace our lineage to Lady Godiva. Oh wow.
Ooh.
So you all have an affinity for riding naked on the back of horses? We're not that kind of broadcast either. So, yeah, Parkwood Estate takes up quite a large block of Oshawa here. It's all of this. The other side of this wall and wrought iron fencing is all gardens and the grounds of the estate, the tea house and fountains, and the rose garden and everything else, right? So yeah, someday we'll come out here during the day and actually do a walking tour of the estate property itself, because it is a National Historic Site, so it's a museum. So when they are open, you can actually go into the house, and the house is phenomenal. I've been in there. I did a prop gig there a couple of years ago. Can't remember the name of the production now. Let's see what we can get here. Sort of, kind of. Now all I see is the lights themselves. Unfortunately. It is what it is. It is, yeah. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful house. Just all the ornate moldings and detail work and all the different rooms and chandeliers and just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And it's amazing, when shows are in there filming, how much care they take, because this is a, irreplaceable historical landmark. We bring our own power. Mats and carpets go down everywhere where there's no actual action going on. Much care is taken to cover anything to protect it. Anything that's not actually on camera, cover it up to protect it. I noticed rolls and rolls of cardboard leaned up against the walls, and put in place to keep any equipment from scratching the paint finish on the walls and that sort of thing. So it was, it's quite an endeavor to use a historical property and not damage it. Especially when you've got dozens and dozens of production crew and actors and backgrounders and that sort of thing coming through. So this is Adelaide Avenue. This is named after McLaughlin's daughter, Adelaide, right? So, yeah.
His wife or his daughter, I'm not sure which one.
Oh, that's right, because he had two wives. His first wife died of consumption, and then he remarried. Tuberculosis, yeah.
Yeah, because I had somebody, my family died of consumption.
Oh, yeah.
I know your name back in the day.
Yeah, it was, definitely. St. Gregory's Church. Great little structure here. very, very common red brick sort of construction. I don't know if any of these bricks came from the brickworks down in Toronto or not, or whether they're from a different brickworks. But as we've mentioned on previous broadcasts, the brickworks in Toronto provided almost 90% of the bricks for constructing all the buildings in Toronto itself back in the day. Church of St. Gregory the Great. Ontario Tech University Campus Childcare Center. This is another thing too, is Oshawa is known now as quite a tech innovation and medical innovation hub. You know, there's about a half a dozen post-secondary institutions here, a lot of them dealing with tech and medicine, and a lot of groundbreaking stuff being developed here in Oshawa, which is awesome. Yeah, a lot of the houses on Simcoe Street have been converted into businesses. Yeah, a lot of like Katie says, a lot of professionals, lawyers, doctors, dentists, accountants. St. Gregory's Auditorium. So this is all part of the same church that's up the street. No, yeah, we can hear a siren somewhere, although it sounds like it's getting farther away. So no excitement yet. See, this beautiful house with the Tudor detailing on it is now a dentist's office. And I don't know what Durham region does for heritage sites or anything like that, whether they have a plaque system that they put on buildings like Toronto does.
I don't know, but most of Winfield's is being taken over by housing. But Ontario Tech has is preserving northern and this great site.
Oh yeah.
Some of the barns and
quiet on the Oshawa streets. At the moment, yeah. Surprisingly.
That's normal.
There we go. I mean, certainly Oshawa is not a huge world-class city like Toronto. I think the population's only in the 100 and something thousand.
166, 000.
Yeah.
Thousand.
There we go. Another lawyer's office. House turned into a lawyer's office. A little church across the way there. The Knox Presbyterian Church. So there's all sorts of denominations out here. I think the St. Gregory, that's a Catholic church, isn't it?
Either that or Anglican.
Catholic or Anglican, that's right, yeah. Those were all the saints.
This building right here, my dad owned it. He had a ear, nose, and throat practice from 62 to 97
Oh, wow.
when he died, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Came up from England. Set it up with they needed an ENT surgeon as well as an eye person. He actually brought over the eye doctor as well as another ENT surgeon, and they set up shop here.
Oh wow!
The eye doctor moved up there, and the other ENT went to his practice. And when he died, the ENT surgeon he started with here took over practice until he retired. So.
Oh wow! So there you go.
It was a house, and the doctor converted to
a little medical And now it's lawyers and lawyers.
But it hasn't much changed.
Yeah. Well, this is it too with a lot of the heritage structures. You know, the great care is taken to maintain the look. I mean, inside and outside. I mean, things have been modernized and you know upgraded and that sort of thing, but they still really do a lot to maintain you know the original moldings and woodwork and the decor and that sort of thing. You know, as well as the exterior, all the exterior features, and try to keep everything looking like it did 100 years ago, you know, or so when the buildings were first built. So as we get a little farther south here, we're going to come up on King and Bond Street, which are opposing one-way streets. They're basically they are Kingston Road elsewhere, right? The Highway 2, and they split into two one-way streets going opposite directions in Oshawa, and then join back up again once they leave town. Stevenson.
And King Street becomes Dundas and Whitby.
Dundas and Whitby.
And then
yeah.
it becomes Kingston Street when it hits Pickering, I think. Or
Right.
Ajax.
Right, yeah.
That used to be the old Go Bus place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they
closed that down.
Now all the Go buses come at the actual train
Yeah.
station down at the down by the lake or near the lake. Why is everything closed? Well, it is 8 p.m. on a Saturday evening, so a lot of the stores are closed. Yeah, a lot of the places are still closing a little earlier too because of COVID. You'll get like as we get closer to the crossroads here, we're gonna get a few more, you know, restaurants and bars and stuff like that that are open. You know, a couple of late night stores, but not much. So how are you, Anthony? Little Indian food place.
Yeah. This is new, built within the last 7 years.
Oh wow! Yeah. The apartment building or a little hotel?
It's a hotel.
Okay.
It's a Holiday Inn.
Oh, it's a Holiday Inn. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's all connected to what's on the corner there. Wendell Clark's Bar and Grill. And Wendell Clark was manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think, right? Or owner?
Yeah.
Something along those lines. We have here, yeah, too bad it's closed.
Yep.
Worlds Collide comic shop. So it's some great figures and comic books and magazines and gaming stuff.
Gaming in the back, yeah.
All kinds of cool stuff.
Over there.
Oh yeah, the armory.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to take a look at. Seems every community in Canada has their own armory. A couple of 2.5, almost 3 years ago, I guess I did a broadcast from Brantford and went by the Brantford armories as well. You know, Brantford, where I grew up. So.
The police department's down that way. That used to be the
Oshawa Times. Oh, yeah.
Then the newspaper. Well, that went under.
Yeah. Well, this is it with so much online now. A lot of the print newspapers, the smaller ones, just can't survive because they're not getting the subscriptions anymore.
90s, actually.
Yeah. Most stores in America usually close around 9, unless it's Walmart. And because of COVID, they've been closing at 11. They're talking about going back to 24 hours again. Oh wow. Oh yeah, this is cool. Yeah. In Ontario, in particular, and the Toronto area, most retailers will stay open until 9 p.m. Monday to Friday, and then 6 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. And yeah, places like Walmart are open till 11 or midnight, depending on the location, depending on the areas. But yeah. Beautiful boxer.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Doggy fits.
Yeah. That's a great boxer. That's a big boxer. So yeah, I mean Saturday evening, and it's the Canadian Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes.
So we're going to probably have a lot of places are closed tomorrow and Monday. Speaking of Thanksgiving, there's already a turkey carcass. There's already a turkey carcass. Look at that.
Tom the turkey.
That's funny. Because of course a lot of these stores, there's apartments upstairs from them, so it's probably from somebody.
Usually it's the owners that live upstairs.
The owners usually live upstairs. Okay,
You know, say
makes sense. You know.
I believe it's been a lot of apartment buildings.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's quite a few more high-rise buildings now in Oshawa than there were even 10 years ago. Here, Bollywood tacos. How's that for a fusion place? Butter chicken taco? Anyone? Tikka masala tacos.
There's another car.
Comic Alley. Oh, there we go. Now we got light. Another one that way too. So let's go take a look at this one. Yeah.
There's one there and there's one there.
Oh yeah, that little one too. Yeah. In Canada, we don't have a lot of 24-hour stores, unfortunately. So some of the grocery stores are, but like regular shopping is not so much. Like, yeah. Oh wow, there's some vintage stuff here. Look at that.
Yes, love that.
Very cool. Thank you very much. Cabbage Patch Kids. Oh my god. Kiss fountain. Why not? Oh, David Bowie's Never Let Me Down on vinyl. Oh my god. If only they were open. More stuff. I don't know what these guys are doing in this window, but we're not that kind of broadcast.
Actually, it's a form of Care Bear, and they're riding the Care Bear. The
Caterpillar or whatever he's supposed to be. Yeah. There you go, and classic Godzilla. Pretty awesome stuff here. Yeah. What's that Gremlins thing? Oh, back there. That was. Where is it? Ultimate Stripe action figure. Nice. So that's got to be a little bit old. So, a creature from the Black Lagoon. Definitely some vintage and some new stuff. And then here we got all the. Try and get a little bit less glare. A lot of really cool. Some vintage, some a little more modern. It's Teddy Ruxpin's friend. His name is Grubby the Caterpillar. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Anthony. That caterpillar thing was from the Teddy Ruxpin line. Yeah, he was the other talking toy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We sold our Welsh guards.
Welsh guards. Look at that. Cloth flags. So some classic old tin cast metal toys. Oh, I used to have one of those. Shovels. The Goddard. We actually we got that as an incentive for working one of the Paramount gigs about 25 years ago. Max Rebo Band. Or sorry, the Cantina Band. Yeah.
Oh, there's
the Darth Vader, Mr. Potato Head, yeah. All kinds of stuff here. See Thor's helmet there in the case, next to a little Greedo bust. All kinds of things.
Steel wheels.
Quite a lot of collectible stuff. Stock up now. Our items change daily, weekly, monthly. This is it, you know. All these nice fancy character mugs, which are a pain in the butt to clean. But you know, whatever. Oh, look, a TARDIS. I'm not sure why it's gray. It's entirely possible it's like based on the original, you know, William Hartnell episodes where everything was in black and white. So why not?
Logic.
The Dalek there. Simpsons figures, all kinds of stuff. Oh wow. Fade. 1969 Dodge Charger, Marvel Heroes. That's awesome. Somewhere in our collection of things, Christina and I have an R2D2 van. It's you know it's a classic tacky 1970s van with the R2D2 detailing on the outside of it and an R2D2 dome on the roof of it. We've never put it together. It's a model kit, but one of these days we're going to have to once we got our spaces figured out and stuff. We've got a few months. It's in the box with other models. I know where it is, just it hasn't been assembled. Yeah. Oh, that's right. It probably, come to think of it, we might actually have it in the sales bin because we never did, like 20 years or so. We never did put it together and thought, you know what? But alas, what can you do? So yeah, all kinds of stuff here. Little dragons of all sorts. You know, trying to switch this back around. There we go. Dragons. Lord of the Rings figures. Moving on. Yeah.
Slightly modified tanks.
Okay, let's go see what else we can find. What else is there to see in downtown Oshawa? So, folks.
Secondhand store.
Awesome. So, folks, as I mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, those of you who know our story time that we do every month, for the month of October, coming up on the 24th, the last Sunday of the month, Christina and I are going to be doing the Remember Me broadcast. So it's a little bit different than usual. Anybody who has contributed minimum $5 in awards, they buy gold. Yeah, they do. A lot of places do, right? It's pawn shops, secondhand, consignment sort of places. But anyone who's contributed minimum $5 in awards this month, or since the last Storytime broadcast, which was the pirate one that Christina did at the end of September, is eligible to provide us with one name of somebody special in their life who's passed, whether it's a friend, a family member, a teacher, a pet, a mentor, whoever. For every $5 that's contributed in awards, they get the chance to contribute one name. So what we'll do is we're going to take those awards, we're going to turn them around. For $60, we can purchase a virtual monarch adoption and support the World Wildlife Foundation's Monarch Fund. And so right now we're at just a little under $100 in awards. Are we going to go that way?
Yeah, we can go see where the Mclaughlin library.
Oh, okay, cool. Once the light changes. But so we got just under $100. So if we can make it up to $120, we can buy 2 of these sponsorships for the Monarch Fund.
Go down that way.
On this side, sure. Yeah.
And
the deadline for submissions. Okay, we got the Oshawa Walk of Fame.
Yep.
What, 3 cars? Or is there more on the other side?
Yeah, there's Ed Broadbent is up that way.
Oh, okay. So.
And Mclaughlin is, I think, on that side.
So all this sort of general area. This is kind of that is
the center of Oshawa.
The center point of Oshawa. That is the center point. Hang on. You're still looking at me. Hang on. There we go. That is the center point of Oshawa. I love this band. That artwork across the street has been done. It's a thank you to farmers, doctors, bus drivers, nurses, retail, truckers, teachers, social workers, daycare, and many, many more. Beautiful art piece. So we're going to continue on in this direction and go see the Mclaughlin Library. Once again, something else named after Robert Mclaughlin.
A lot of things named after him.
So the deadline for the Remember Me story time is October 15th, and the date of the broadcast itself is October 24th, which is the weekend before Halloween, but we like to keep our Halloween open because we don't know what kind of plans we're going to have for the day of. And the Mexican Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, is on November 1st, but we're going to do this on the last Sunday of the month, so that'll be on October 24th. So what has been suggested to us is that either we read out, when you provide a name for somebody who's passed, provide a little bit of history to tell us about the person, what they meant to you, who they were in your life, something to remember them by. And you can get either us to read that out to the audience when we do the broadcast, or we can invite you on as a guest broadcaster to talk about the person yourself. So definitely looking forward to that. Last year we did a similar thing on HAPS, because that was before on Periscope, because that was before HAPS started up, where we had people submit some names and stuff like that, and it went actually quite well. It was actually really cool sort of thing. So we'll get decked out in our Day of the Dead costumes and the Monarch Ferry and stuff like that, and do the broadcast. So turn this around again, which is Oshawa City Hall. Man. The Oshawa House Cafe. I think Oshawa House, there's a history too, isn't there? It used to be, I think there's a sign somewhere on the side of the building, if I remember. Was it John A. MacDonald stayed there once? Because it was a hotel back in the day.
I have not a clue.
Let's go find out, because I seem to remember one of the last times I was walking around town here that there was a little sign there.
There's also a monarch garden.
Oh, is there a monarch garden? Oh, okay. Probably not a lot of monarchs there right now, if any. Most of them have already migrated. The monarchs start their journey here in eastern Canada and across the sort of eastern United States, and they make their way down to Mexico, where they spend their winter. And that's a very, very hardy strain of monarch. Just looking to see if I can remember seeing the sign at one point. Yeah, it's a coffee shop, but it used to be, at one point, it was a hotel. I remember seeing a little plaque somewhere, but I don't see it anymore. They may have taken the plaque down or moved it somewhere. Well, that's too bad. Caribbean flavor. So yeah, lots of little places are open right now. Little fast food places, and we can always Google it. Yeah, Oshawa House, because I think that's what the place was originally called, was Oshawa House, and then they created the coffee shop. Yeah. Oh, here it is. We found it. Katie found it. Oshawa House. There we go. It's constructed sometime around 1888 in the Italian architectural style. Just wait for the bus to go by, so it's because it's loud. The inn, which had been described in 1844 as the best tavern between Toronto and Kingston. Interesting. It was constructed in 1888, but it had been described in 1844. So it's possible it was a previous building or something. A large meeting hall was located on the second floor of the two-story section just off Centre Street, which is to the right of us. It's actually changed quite a bit since then. This hall served as a meeting place for many local groups as well as a place for public speaking events. The entrance to the tavern was located at the corner of the building, just off Centre Street. This entrance has since been filled. The entrance to the hotel was located off of King Street, where the entrance to the upper apartments and the businesses is located today. As the oldest building in Oshawa, we thought it was important to continue the legacy and serve draft beer. Okay. As the anecdote goes, when the building was built, granite stone was used in the foundation to maintain the perfect cellar temperature for the best beer in Ontario. It was said that Sir John A. Macdonald would stop here when he was traveling from Kingston or Ottawa on his way to Toronto. The narrative was that on hot days, he would look forward to a pint at the Oshawa House, and it was Upper Canada's finest. As a salute to John A. himself and many that thought that through the years have enjoyed a cold one here, we are proud to offer a few of Ontario's finest craft beers. That's awesome. Awesome.
I'm almost 90 years old. I can remember. There was no Oshawa
when this, yeah.
My people came from across the Atlantic when there was no steamboats. It was big sailing ships.
On the sailing ships. Oh, cool.
And it took 7 weeks to get across the Atlantic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because we're in winter west-northwest.
Oh, right, yeah. It's hard to sail against that. Yeah.
And it's hurricane season too in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
That's cool.
Atlantic
Yeah.
is very cold ocean.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine. Very cool. So we're going to move on. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're going to move on. We're going to see if there's a little excitement going on here, and then we're going to move on and do a little bit more of the tour. Thanks so much for the information. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was called the Old Chambers Hotel.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
And that's because there was no plumbing. Under every bed was a chamber. You know?
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. The chamber pot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had that on our farm when the boat station was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We had the farms that surrounded Quebec, and that wasn't where they tell you once.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That was where the sons of the British nobility hid out. Yeah.
Cool.
Sons of
Yeah.
the British nobility hid out during the war here while the boys on Terre Rebel were dumped off on the beach in France.
Oh, really?
Just to protect England.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? They give them a gold placement on the border to guide you the enemy lines. They were all killed. What happened in the First World War? You know how England ruled the world for over 1,000 years? Because England's only 300 miles long, right?
Yep.
It's the same size as Vancouver Island.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They ruled the world for over 1,000 years by plunder.
By plunder, yeah.
By plunder, yeah. When it was witches in India, first Queen Elizabeth sent the army and navy over there to kill people. And the same thing happened in Queen Victoria's time when diamonds and gold were found in South Africa.
Yeah.
And all it was populated by Dutch farmers. They had no way of fighting back.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to move on.
That admire Britain. My ancestors took Britain. They were in Normandy in France, but they weren't French. They were on the top of Europe, Norse.
All right. Yeah.
Norwegian and Norse.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings.
Yeah.
They took England in the year 1066, called the Battle of Hastings.
The Battle of Hastings. I remember that. Yeah. William the Conqueror. Yep.
As far as you can see, the young one on horseback was the king. As far as you can see, all the trees was covered in blood, so they weren't too happy. They weren't too proud of that, so England was occupied for 500 years by Roman soldiers. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And so they got a hold of the Ten Commandments, and it said, "Thou shalt not kill." It didn't say it didn't say you could kill people when you kill it.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Everybody likes to forget that.
No, Yeah, well, my people don't go to war no matter what, but they can construct everything. They can take you as far as the East Coast, but they can't make you overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not counties. Well,
Awesome.
very much for
Thank you so much.
This
We're
is
going to
my
move on.
exercise. I'm good
Awesome.
for you. I'll be
Good for
90
you.
in February.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you
Good
very
night.
much for your information.
That's cool. Getting a little history lesson from one of the locals. But she said she's been living here in Oshawa for 90 years, or she is 90 or something like that. Yeah. So we're gonna cross over that way to the gardens.
Is it also split?
So maybe it's not that.
One way and Center goes this way, and then they join up.
Right. Yeah. A lot of streets sort of split and recombine again, and the Simcoe and Center join back up again too, right? So. What's that?
Just past Gibb.
Just past Gibb. That's right. Well, for a second I thought that was corn. It almost looks like corn stalks, but it's not.
No, it doesn't look like corn stalk. Just grass.
Yeah, it's a tall grass, but it's a very similar
Can we
look.
walk through this?
Yeah.
Just
So,
it's almost near its City Hall.
City Hall. Yeah. Oshawa's got a lot of nice little parks. There's one just a little bit over here that's got a band shell and a cenotaph.
That's down that way.
Yeah. Lots of little churches everywhere too. Nice to still see flowers growing in the middle of October. The late bloomers, as they call them. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got was it the Oshawa River as well? Goes through here. Oshawa Creek. Okay. So Oshawa Creek and the Credit River's nearby as well too. There we go. City of Oshawa. In honor of our partnership and for the important role the community has played in Canada's history, CN donated this commemorative tree in celebration of Canada's 150th anniversary. It looks like a rock. When is a tree a rock? Special thanks to the Government of Canada and the Tree Canada for their participation and support. And of course, the same thing in French. So that was 2017, 4 years ago, and I don't see the tree to which it refers. So either the tree is long gone, or the plaque maker made a mistake, because that looks like a rock. This is the Oshawa City Hall offices, all the administrative offices.
Modernized it about 5-7 years ago.
Oh, yeah. So we have a great bell here. Take a look at. So I still hear him playing that little flute thingy that he's got. So I don't think the police officers had anything to do with him. They were still standing out in front of the Oshawa house. Well, this one's going to be a little challenging to read because it's in a lot of shadow. Katie's going to light it up.
And get the light on. Fine.
Something hung in the steeple. There you go. Naylor, Vickers and Company, 1860. Casting number 1130. So this bell hung in the steeple of the church that occupied this site from 1874 to 1967. Hey, that's the year I was born. It's Canada's centennial year.
Yep.
The congregation was formed in 1831 in Darlington Township as the Christian Church under the leadership of Elder Thomas Henry, and moved to a new building erected in Church Street, Oshawa in 1843. I think Thomas Henry... no, this is a different Henry. Sorry, never mind. A larger church was built on this site in 1874 when the needs of the congregation outgrew the Church Street building. In 1928, under the Reverend W.P. Fletcher, D.D., the congregation amalgamated with the United Church of Canada and was renamed Centre Street United Church. In 1967, during the ministry of the Reverend Arthur W. McGee, Centre Street joined with Westmount United to form Centennial United Church when the building was demolished to make way for the new City Hall complex. There we go.
Yeah, she also worked in the office.
So this is a lot of change, a lot of growth, but still a lot of the history of the community being retained as well. So yeah, here we go through all that. That's part of the original building.
That's new. Right
that's
there.
The new structure out there. Okay.
That's the original building.
Oshawa Civic Administration. Church Street, the one with the church on it.
Logical.
Logical, yeah. Well, it's downtown Toronto. Church Street has about 3 or 4 big churches on it. It's I mean, this is Centre Street, which is technically the center of town. Simcoe Street was named after Governor General Simcoe. So, yeah. Everything is named for a reason. A great old church here, too.
Also, we've got the Mclaughlin Gallery.
Oh, the Mclaughlin Gallery, the art gallery. That's right. Again, lots of cool stuff. Oh, there's bunnies everywhere. There he is, just on the edge of the garden. I don't know if anyone can see him. Here, bunny, 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 bunny. Here, bunny, bunny, bunny. Urban wildlife at its finest. Hi, bunny. He's like, what? If I don't move, you can't see me, right? Alrighty. So, I'm at 1 hour, but I'm going to be going to try and go for another half an hour or so. So I'll have to figure out a few things for tonight. But this is the Mclaughlin Art Gallery. I hear music playing somewhere. Over there. And of course, also not here in Oshawa, but I think it's up in Markham or something like that, is the Mclaughlin Planetarium, which is an actual functional planetarium operated by the University of Toronto, named after Robert Mclaughlin. These are funny. Okay, Monarch Way Station. Look at that. There we go. Do they have any milkweed here? Okay, let's go take a look at the Mclaughlin Art Gallery. So this is fairly new too, isn't it?
No, it's been around for about 40 years at least.
Oh, we've got a moderator here permitting to use our ID just to make things a little bit easier. Thank you for joining our broadcast tonight. Glad you could help out. I'm probably going to be on for about another half hour or so. We'll see how things go. Yeah, it's an empty wall, a blank wall in there.
Gee!
A lot of art.
Galleries. Oh, this is a spider.
Sorry, I'm late. Monarch what? It's a monarch waypoint, so it's a little bit of a monarch garden. I didn't see any. We're gonna go back up on the other side of it and see if we can spot any milkweed. But yeah, I was just telling our audience about the monarch migration patterns and talking about the plight of the monarch and how they're an endangered species, and how our award proceeds from the Remember Me are going to be going to the World Wildlife Federation Monarch Fund. So take another look here at the little plaque. This is actually pretty cool. But yeah, interesting. I don't see any milkweed in here.
It's a way station, so it may not have milkweed.
Well,
Milkweed is really only good for when they're
yeah.
developing.
Well, it does say it provides milkweed, nectar sources, and shelter needed to sustain monarch butterflies as they migrate through North America.
Oh, I stand correct.
Yeah. Monarchwatch.org. Cool. Monarch migration patterns. Does that include Prince Harry moving to Canada?
No.
Good one, Grand Admiral Thrawn. How are you this evening? So I am joined here tonight by Jedi Senshi, who's doing a walking tour of downtown Oshawa, her hometown. How's it going? I'm not too bad. It's going okay. Sorting out a few things, getting stuff on track, but overall, doing okay. Yeah. So yeah, I don't see any milkweed in this cluster at all. I know milkweed plants are still around this time of year, so maybe they didn't have much luck with milkweed this year. It was amazing coming back to Ontario and seeing all the people's little front yard gardens with milkweed plants in it. And I thought, why is everyone growing milkweed? It's like a wild, like bush plant. But then I found out, Christine and I found out about the monarchs. Can you milk the plants for vegan milk? I don't think so. Milkweed's actually a fairly toxic plant, and that's part of why the monarchs they evolved to be able to. There we go, monarchwatch.org/waystations. Awesome. Thank you, moderator. But the monarchs evolved to be able to eat milkweed plants and drink the sap from them, and it makes them toxic to predators. So, and then their distinctive colors make them very very noticeable. So birds and other insects look at those monarchs and go, oh no, they're toxic. They'll make me sick, so that they don't eat them. That's why some other butterflies, like the Viceroy, decided to adopt the monarch colors. They evolved into that to sort of be imposters and hope to get away from the predators that way. Oh, look, we have a lonely little snail just chilling on the railing.
Oh. Shall we take the snail and put it in somewhere where it's got food?
See if you can pry him off the rail. Christina and I found a snail at our place the other night on a previous broadcast, actually.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're pretty. They like to cling, and just get a little. Is that for dinner? Escargot.
There we go.
We're gonna put him in the science. I don't know what he's doing way up on the rail. That must have taken him hours to get up here. Just down on the edge of the garden somewhere. Sure, he'd love to munch on some plant.
There?
Oh, over by the monarch garden? Sure, why not? Yeah. Totally confuse him. It's like, man, I spent all day getting across the street to get here. Somebody put me back again. Yeah, I don't know if the common Ontario garden snail is actually the kind of snail that you would cook up as escargot.
No,
that's not. Maybe some evil human put him there. Who knows? It's amazing sometimes to see snails. It's like, how did you get up here? Because you move so slowly. It must have taken you forever.
There we go. Yeah, fell down.
Yeah. Hear lots of crickets in the garden too.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So where do we go next? Tour guide.
Oh, okay. Let's check out that.
The church. All right.
Bagot Church. I don't know where Church Street is. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
This is Bagot Street.
Bagot Street?
B-A-G-O-T. Nothing
Bagot.
to do with Bilbo. Oh, good.
Red?
Okay.
Yep. Good. Luckily, it's a one-way, but always look the other way anyway, just in case somebody doesn't. Earlier, I saw somebody go about a half a block down a one-way because they wanted to get a driveway they missed. St. George's Memorial Anglican Church. There we go. And this is a good sized one too. You know, you've got the rectory to the one side, and then the primary church itself. And big, massive steeple. You never know, drunks do bad stuff. Well, this is true with the whole thing with the snail. No, this is it. Well, yeah, any community's got their share of homeless population and you know, people with mental health issues. And it's a big thing. Oh, that's the other thing I heard. I don't know if this is a new thing or not, but tomorrow is declared as World Mental Health Day. So, you know, everyone think about people in your life who are suffering through mental illnesses, and or yourselves, and what you're doing to help yourselves heal, what they're doing to help themselves heal, and I know this from firsthand, and it's something I don't want to talk about on this broadcast, but it's definitely an important thing. Oh, 5 seconds. Let's wait here.
Yeah.
Or do we go that?
Yeah, why not?
Let's go this way. Okay. Are you going to stream on Mental Health Day? Christina and I are going to be taking turns doing broadcasts, so I believe she's... hey, Jazzy, how are you? I believe she's got a broadcast planned for tomorrow. It's going to be going back to the build stuff and working on crowns, and once again talking more about the Remember Me broadcast coming up on October 24th. It's another older building here. Cowan House. Here. Oh, there's a plaque here. Christina says she's having a hard time getting on. She says she's doing some crowns tomorrow afternoon. Awesome. Cool. This house and grounds for many years, the home of Mr. and Mrs. T.H. Macmillan, was given in loving memory of them to St. George's Church for a rectory by their daughter and son-in-law, Lily M. and Fred W. Cowan. Here we go. So again, more of the Macmillan. I think I said Mclaughlin. I see it better actually. Yeah. Macmillan. Mr. and Mrs. T.H. Macmillan. So that would be Macmillan and wife.
Well, I don't think that was Rock Hudson.
No, it wasn't Rock Hudson.
It was St. James. I remember that show.
Back in the 1970s, police dramas.
Yeah. Lombard, Kojak, Banachak.
Year on the house? Was there a year on that plaque? Here, let's take a quick look again. I didn't notice one, but let's double check. Thank you for asking that. Our moderator. Oh, up at the top. 1920, 1923. I guess it was when it was originally built.
Yeah.
There we go, yeah. Awesome.
Thank
you for asking. The big doggy.
Beautiful dog.
Will you have the same sort of plaque at our place? As in, this is where Christina Carr and Martin Hunger resided and created their mystical, magical props and cosplay stuff. And who knows? It's a nice walk. Yeah, it is. How's things on the West Coast, Jazzy?
There's another nice church over there.
Oh yeah. You can come around on that side. That's on the Simcoe Street side, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a nice biggie. It used to be actually a United Way place at one point.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah, but then United Way just hired to
Mm-hmm. It's a new structure or an older structure being refurbished? Fairly new. It's all fenced off, and there's a broken window boarded up. And it's been fenced off for a while because it's kind of overgrown inside the grassy area there. LOL. It's raining? Oh, really? In BC? I can't imagine. Red Eye was on the broadcast earlier, and he's saying he could really use some rain down in Kenosha, central Washington, because it's been pretty dry. Christina seems shorter today, and she's not wearing her heels. that's Katie. That's Jedi Senshi, who's our Oshawa tour guide tonight, because she grew up in Durham region here and lives in downtown Oshawa, not too far from here. So figured we'd do a little bit of a tour of the area.
That used to be the Canadian post office.
Oh yeah, big Canada Post Office. Yeah.
Let's look at this.
Yeah, I hear they're going to be building an apartment building on top of it or something, maintaining the original structure. I had read that. Yeah. Admiral Thrawn says, "Hello, Jedi. Did she like to meet? Did she like to meet Qui-Gon Jinn?"
That's a good question. He won't die, yes or no. That used to be the United Way.
And more old houses. Jazzy says hi from me to her. Jazzy's watching us from Vancouver, BC. Simcoe Street United Church. Yeah, fairly large church, big tall steeple. Try not to drop the phone. I got a cramping finger. It's a long way up. Where's Christina? Christina's struggling to get a few things done right now, and she's been talking to we've got a moderator on that's using our ID as well. That will be should be able to tell. There's our moderator. Oh, look at these windows. Oh, okay.
Designated heritage property, Oshawa. You were wondering whether or not we had plaques. There we go.
Yeah, there's a little plaque. Yeah. Doesn't say anything about when it was built. So, is there another plaque over on this side? Yeah. Hello, mysterious moderator. Moderator says, Christina says she decided to do some workspace cleanup and trust Martin and Katie to handle this. We're being trusted. Oh, we have a cornerstone. That's awesome. Here we go. This cornerstone was laid by the Honourable T.N. Gibbs, MP, June 17th, 1867, assisted by Mrs. James Luke W.H. Gibbs, Esquire, Chairman of Building Committee, Dedicatory Services, May 1868, by Reverend W.M. Morley Punchon, LLDDD. What are all those letters? Is it a church? Yeah, it is, yeah. So this was cornerstone was laid on the same year that Canada was founded. Simcoe Street Methodist Church, 1867. So it was originally Methodist, now it's United Church. And it's big. It's very, very big. See if I can hold this phone a little differently. One of my fingers is actually cramping to a point where I can't bend it right now. Which is always a lot of fun. But we're doing okay. Great windows. Oh, Backdoor Mission has little lockers that you can sign out. This is it. There's, here we go, Simcoe Street Methodist SS Secondary School, 1912. Yeah, there you go. How's the weather out here? It's not too bad. We've had a bit of rain on and off for the past couple of weeks, but it rained a little bit earlier today, but it stopped luckily for now. See a bunch of food containers everywhere. This is the Backdoor Mission, which is part of the United Church, and they do a meal program for homeless and for people who are going through hard times and everything. So the two of them in so many different directions. They asked me to have access to their social media. Recently, they had to change all their passwords. Yeah. Well, when the Facebook and Twitter thing went crazy, and Instagram, that kind of messed a bunch of stuff too. Who's insane? Is who insane? Dun, dun, dun. Alrighty. So yeah, there's quite a big infrastructure in Oshawa for. Oh, look at, I was joking that she insane that she trusts Martin. Well, only Christina knows that for sure. So she's a very good kind of crazy. So it went down. What went down? We are all crazy. Slowly going crazy here. Yeah, another church across the street there.
Oh,
As
yeah,
Katie was saying.
the church we saw that Gregory.
Yeah. We have a local little kitty cat. Got a bit of a limp. Yeah. Kitty! I'm insane, I feel like. Insane inside of insanity. Yeah, don't know where the kitty went. Probably up the side of the church. Or down the side of the church, whichever way. Like, didn't climb. So
No.
Facebook, Insta, WhatsApp went down. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. Here he is. Walking up towards the church. Hopefully.
If you want to go across the street, we can look at the old...
The postal outlet. And take a look at the... quickly before the traffic comes. Someone broke into their accounts. Yeah, it's all messed up. There we go. Application has been submitted by Post Office LP to amend zoning bylaw, etc., etc. Yeah, Christine and the moderator cleaned up and changed all the passwords. It is a clean city. Oshawa is actually a pretty clean little city. Permitted an 8-story apartment building containing 143 apartment units. The existing building is intended to be maintained. So that's awesome. Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, this has probably been around since the 1920s or 1930s as well, you know?
It was the original post office at Knox.
Yeah.
And there's Cocoa Farm.
Ah, yes. The Lion and the Unicorn.
Yep, that's Britain.
Usca ad mare ad mare. I think that's actually from Sea to Shining Sea, isn't it? Hey, Newfoundlander, how are you? I'm out and about in downtown Oshawa with Katie, with Jedi Sinchi, doing a little tour. She's our Oshawa tour guide, being born and raised here in Durham County, in Durham region. So we're at an hour and 20 minutes. I wouldn't mind going a little bit longer and start tracking back in the direction we started. That one park is with the cenotaph is it's up there, isn't it, or is it?
Cenotaph
is it back that way?
Up that way, more streets that way.
Yeah. That might be a little bit too far.
Yeah.
We'll maybe do that on another day.
John Street is called John.
At John, yeah.
John Street and Center.
John and Center, right? Yeah.
We could have gotten that maybe another day.
Another day, yeah.
Can't really see much.
Yeah. I mean, originally had been hoping to get into the Parkwood Estate property and take a little walk around, but it got a little too dark, and they actually they close up at 5 o'clock right now. Yeah, they roll up the sidewalks. But what can you do? That's right. That's actually That's one of Christina's favorite poems, The Lion and the Unicorn. Another cannabis shop.
Yeah.
They're all
There's a cannabis shop there. There's a cannabis shop there.
like every third or fourth storefront. That's happening in Toronto too. There we go. The moderator just posted the link for the Lion and the Unicorn poem.
Singer store. You need a singer.
Yeah, there you go. A little bit of sewing supplies, and the creepy kid still standing in the doorway.
God no, this is being for a long time. I'm not big here. Here's a shoebox.
Shoe store, so yeah, and a little bit of local wildlife, urban wildlife in the doorway there. Yeah. Oh, and here's that. See if I can get enough of it in the frame. Yeah, I can. All right, let's see if I can do this from a reasonable location that you can see the whole thing. As I'll pan across it. No one's out. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. A lot of this, the retail stores are all closed. There's little restaurants here and there. So it says, thank you, farmers, doctors, teachers, social workers, bus drivers, nurses, daycare, retail truckers, and many more. That's awesome. Is there COVID restrictions? Yeah, we're still under COVID restrictions. I mean, there's no curfew or anything per se. Masks indoors. You have to provide your proof of vaccination now if you want to dine indoors. Was that a real kid? No, that's a little mannequin kid in that Singer store. But outdoors is, as long as you're 6 feet apart, you don't have to wear masks outdoors. And there's a few places they're still restricting numbers of people that can come in. Most stores are back to being open again, but there's a few smaller places here and there. Yeah, thanks to them, exactly. All the frontline workers, all the essential service workers.
Ice cream store.
Very bright, and they're still running.
10 p.m.
Open till 10. Yeah. Faculty of Education, Ontario Tech. Okay, so that's another one of the big tech secondary, post-secondary institutions that come in. It's coming to Oshawa.
It used to be the University Institute of Technology, Ontario.
Yeah.
Or Durham College.
Durham College, yeah. So there's quite a few campuses in the Oshawa area, all focusing on technology and medicine. And
this used to be the old RBC building.
Old RBC, Royal Bank of Canada. It's now an urban market. Urban market. They don't believe in vowels. Okay, so it's
oh, there's one vowel.
Oh yeah, the U, I guess.
They have a coffee.
Yeah, a little coffee shop,
soap,
and
they have doggy biscuits.
So probably individual little vendors in here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is kind of like a scaled down version of St. Lawrence Market in Toronto.
And pickling markets. It's now Oshawa Markets. It's up on
down at the south end of Simcoe Street. Yeah. Down near the highway, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right across from the highway.
Yeah.
555 Simcoe Street South. It's open this weekend.
We'll wait because we got 3 seconds left.
Actually, there's a college service.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at that one. Someone stole the vowels. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's the trendy thing too, to short form everything. Folks, we don't have to use T9 anymore. We have full keyboards on our phones. We don't have to short form everything anymore. We don't have to pay per letter when we text. That's where all of that stuff came from, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of places are getting decorated for Halloween. Oh yeah, so they got like a little marketplace back area here too.
We're gonna have a
Halloween thing. We buy movies, video games, toys. All right.
unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, look at that. Sorry, boys, no backdoor access. That's awesome. Elvira. It's awesome to see Elvira is still going strong. She's like
She just had a birthday recently.
70, isn't it? Isn't she? She's 70.
Why not? Well, I'm shot this time.
I know.
Space.
I know. Why not? So we're gonna go. We're gonna cross the street now and go over to the Armory building. So as I was saying earlier in the broadcast, most large enough communities in Canada have an armory building. You know, Toronto's got the Moss Park Armory. I think there's actually several armory buildings in Toronto from the different jurisdictions from before it was amalgamated as a big city. Hey, we're back at the same time countdown. It's like we never left this corner.
Yeah. Maybe it's a target.
Actually, that's the same car park there too. Wait a minute. It's all wibbly wobbly. Timey wimey.
Yeah, the new Doctor Who's going to start on Halloween.
On Halloween? Oh, really? So the end of this month? There we go. Yeah. There's Bollywood tacos again. Indian-inspired Mexican street food. How about that? Never would have thought. There's lights changing. Here we go. 26 seconds to cross the street. I think we can make it. Heck, University Avenue gives you 26 seconds to cross the street. And it's 3 lanes, both directions, with a big boulevard down the middle.
Run.
Exactly. Something unique here too. This place across the street, eatsavage.ca, paleo meal delivery and catering. So if you want to get your like 100% carnivore meat meal delivery and eat like a caveman, they're the ones to call.
And of course, Mclaughlin.
That's something, yeah. Yeah. Colonel R.S. Mclaughlin Armory. Yep. Yep. So he was also a colonel in the Canadian Army. I hear fireworks.
Probably.
Or gunfire. That's a lot. It's hopefully not gunfire.
No, it sounds more like fire.
Yeah. Fireworks. Yeah. Ontario Regiment, Royal Canadian Army Corps. Christina says to let you know that Fan Expo is not doing chairs for panels in order to be able to do social distancing. The audience will stand. Oh my God. Standing room only. That's going to be interesting. All right then. The Conqueror. Check out the tank. See, even Canadians have tanks. Yeah, can't quite get enough light with your phone. See if I can get it at the right angle to get light from somewhere else. 1939 to 1945, in honored memory of the men of the Ontario Regiment who gave their lives that liberty and righteousness should live. Okay, there we go. That's really hard to read with very little light, and then a whole list of people who gave their lives during World War II. Is that an army base? It's one of the regiment headquarters. So it's basically it's not an army base, but a place where the military are able to. They do their ceremonies here. They do events and stuff like that here as well. So it's sort of a base of operations, it's an administrative sort of thing. Katie, were you planning on going to Fan Expo?
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay, she's going. Yep. May want to be ready with comfy shoes. She expects foot rubs. Oh, Christina expects foot rubs from you each night after the convention. Everyone does. Everyone gets foot rubs. My God, they should set that up actually as a service at the convention. I remember the Emerald City Comic Con one year had Christina, expect foot rubs. Yeah. Well, I remember Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle one year. They had a back rub, like a massage table vendor there in the dealer's room near the artist alley, because people were spending an entire weekends on their feet, going waiting in line or wandering around the dealer's rooms and stuff like that. So these guys were actually doing pretty good business. You had to basically go there. Okay, so Wendell Clark, yeah. Oh, he was a player. That's right. See, I'm not a sports fan, so.
Me either.
Wendell Clark, there we go. Toronto Maple Leafs.
And we're doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, 4-1 against Ottawa, against the Senators. Little foot tubs. Yeah, need to have little foot tubs here and there. Foot baths. But yeah, that would actually be a good service to have at the convention with people standing so much. To have somebody doing foot rubs. A little reflexology foot massage kind of thing, bearing in mind social distancing and COVID protocols. We'll get there, So, what else do we have here on the tour here? Wilson and Lee Limited Music Store. I think these guys have been around for a long time too in Oshawa.
It's nearly 100 years.
Oh wow!
But nobody wanted to take it over after the oldest man retired. So
it's now done.
Done.
Oh,
over and done.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Years of service.
Wow.
1920.
Kids didn't want to have. Grandkids didn't want to do it. Yeah. Wow. That's really too bad. I mean, it seems to happen a lot too when there's family business that's passed down from generation to generation, and then the patriarch or matriarch for that matter that founded the company.
Preschool and daycare.
There you go. You? Yeah. I saw them out here earlier before the broadcast. I was walking up this way to go over to Parkwood, and there was I guess a painting contractor here with a woman, and they were trying to match the paint swatch samples to the side of the building. So I guess something's getting a repaint. Clothing outlet, Vintage Depot.
It used to.
That's what it used to be. That's right. I remember that. And it's now coming January 2022. So just recently acquired. Yep. Here we go.
Within the last month.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess they're going to give the building a bit of a repaint. I see some graffiti on the wall. Not a lot of graffiti, but yeah. Looks like there's some that was scrubbed out earlier as well. You see the dark patch above the red. So yeah, probably going to repaint the building, trying to match the color. What's that? DMS?
9 to 12.
Durham Montessori School, I believe. Yep. Is what DMS stands for. Preschool and daycare. Slow down. Was that a Monarch on the D? Oh, you're right. There was. I didn't see that. Oh. Moderators on the ball.
Good eye.
Moderators on the ball. Let's get a bit of an angle so that clothing outlet sign doesn't drown out. Oop. I'm gonna have to charge up soon here. I'm in an hour and a half, so we're almost at the end of our route. There's monarchs all over Ontario. Yeah. I mean, all of Ontario, Quebec, a lot of the eastern U.S. into the Midwest, and they're all migrating south to winter in Mexico. So, and it's this particular generation of monarchs. It's the last generation of the year, and they're more robust. They're going to have a longer lifespan so that they can make it down there and spend the winter in Mexico, and they'll lay eggs for the next generation to what's DMS? Durham Montessori School. So the next generation will be migrating back again in the spring, and then it'll go back to the usual less hardy generations that only last a couple of weeks per per generation, or a few weeks per generation. But this generation that's going down right now is going to live for several months. So. So we're almost back at the beginning of our circle, or our extended oval. And my phone's already warning about low battery. So let's see if I can actually get my booster out. Those monarchs, yes. Just so we don't risk orange and black. Yes. Booster. Could you plug that into me? It's in the middle there. It's the wider plug in the middle. There we go. Thank you. Awesome. There we go. Now I got a little bit more life in the phone. Are you visiting the city? I'm actually staying out here in Oshawa at the moment to work on myself right now. So we're not going to get into details or anything, but we'll see how things go. And here we have, this is again the switch camera. Come on, switch over. The Knox Presbyterian Church. All of their little digital clock here on their display. And it's another great little church. A little stained glass going on there.
I like the Methodist church.
Oh, the one that's now the United Church, yeah.
That was like the old British churches I saw when I was in there.
Yeah. It's a great architecture. Again, lots more older houses here on Simcoe Street. A lot of them converted into businesses, professional. It actually says professional offices. So you'll get doctors and lawyers and dentists and architectural firms and stuff like that. Yeah. This one actually, I think it's under renovation too. I see paper in the window, and it's all sort of open framework inside there. This one here looks like a big, like southern estate, southern plantation building.
This actually used to be my eye doctor at one point.
Okay.
There.
One Care Educational Services. You're downtown, not residential. Yeah, this is downtown. This is sort of traveling north out of the downtown core of Oshawa, and going back into, it's sort of half residential, half like older buildings converted into businesses. And then going up to where Parkwood Estate is at the beginning of the broadcast, where we started, was the home of Robert S. Mclaughlin, who started with an automobile manufacturing company, Mclaughlin Carriages, then became Mclaughlin Motor Cars, and eventually it got bought by the General Motors Company.
General Motors of Canada.
General Motors of Canada, that's right.
In fact, there's down Simcoe Street that way, there is a automotive museum.
Oh, I remember seeing that at one point, yeah. The history of the automobile in Canada. Yep. Manufacturing.
That'd be something to go look through.
Yeah. Yeah, at one point Oshawa was the automotive manufacturing capital of Canada. Yep. Not so much anymore. The plant got closed down, and they're just starting to reopen some of the manufacturing facilities.
Yeah.
So.
Downtown. The
And
main things used to be on Whitson and Adelaide. The main buildings were there, but now there's a Costco, and it's in Morton's.
Right. Yeah. It's all become. It's all become more retail. But yeah, the General Motors plant just south of here is huge. It's like, I don't know how many square miles it is. It's several buildings, and they're all interconnected. Oshawa Automotive Capital. Yeah. Yep. And my aunt worked for the Oshawa General Motors plant as well during the 1980s on one of the assembly lines. So, but yeah, the building is huge. It's like, or several buildings, and they're all interconnected, and they've got like overhead gangways, like going over the streets and everything, with large conveyors and stuff, moving parts back and forth, and yeah, it was huge production. Is it like Detroit? It's not as big as Detroit, but for Canada, it was big. Oh, I like this. If Christina gets a chance to see this too, she'll like this too. Labyrinth Holistic Healthcare. So that's where Jareth went. You remind me of the babe. That's funny. Durham region. So again, this is a beautiful old house with some Tudor styling to it. You know, the brown battens and the little sort of French windows. A lot of the Tudor stuff is all like diagonal lattice work in the windows, but nonetheless. And it's now converted into a few different buildings, or a few different businesses here. There's like 4 different businesses. House that's been converted to a realty office. So I need to list a healthcare. I think a lot of people do. So here we go. We're back at Adelaide Avenue, named after Adelaide Mclaughlin, the daughter of Robert S. McLaughlin.
Stevenson, there is a school named after her.
There's a school named after her, okay.
Yep. I think it's a high school, I'm not sure.
Okay. Getting close to the end of our little tour here. I mean, there's so much more to see if we had a bit more energy to walk longer. But is it a medium-sized city? Yeah, it's around 100 odd thousand people. So it's not huge, but it's a big city. It's actually probably about the same size as Brantford, where I grew up. So we're gonna stop here for a moment. We'll just go off to the side in case somebody comes and walks by. Smaller than Toronto, obviously. Oh yeah, it's a tenth the size of Toronto, if not smaller. So just over here for a moment. So we're gonna call this the end. You need that holistic healthcare. You'll have more energy. Yeah, exactly. So hour and 43 minutes. I'm gonna call this the end of the broadcast because we've come full circle. That's Mclaughlin's, the Parkwood Estate across the street. Odd and silly question. What way is it to the U.S.-Canada border? Well, that way is south. If you go across Lake Ontario, you get into New York State. So what you actually have to do is you travel west around the lake and go over to Niagara Falls.
Well,
so that's about a
way.
2-hour drive. Or you go east about an hour and a half or so. Somewhere near Kingston, there's a bridge that goes over, like just at the or just near the end of the lake, where it's actually that's getting close to Ottawa. Right near the end of the lake, where it narrows up again to the St. Lawrence River, there's another crossing there. So you're looking at probably 3 hours to get to the U.S. border in either direction. So thanks a lot, Jazzy. So that's a quick little tour of a good chunk of downtown Oshawa. And someday when Christina and I get a chance to come out here during the day, we'll actually go for a tour of the Parkwood Estate across the street here. Can you walk to the border?
No.
Given 3 or 4 days, I'm sure you could, taking it in short bursts, but no. No, not like in BC where it's like a half-hour drive down to the border. You could almost walk it in a few hours, right? Depending on where you are in BC. Yeah, well, in Vancouver, right? Yeah, Vancouver, Langley. I mean, there's a portion of Langley in Aldergrove that you can literally walk down to the border. It's so close. Zero Avenue. It runs right along the border. Zero Avenue in Langley. So yeah. But anyway, as I mentioned before, we have the Remember Me broadcast, which is the what we're going to do this month as part of the Storytime broadcast. That's on October 24th. And anyone who's contributed a minimum of $5 in awards this time, not sponsorships, gets to submit a name of somebody in their life, a dear loved one who's departed, whether it's friend, family member, teacher, mentor, a pet, the Peace Arch, yeah, exactly. There's Peace Arch at the Aldergrove Crossing and stuff like that. So for every $5 in awards that you contribute, you can add one name to the list, and we'll read out a little anecdote that you'd like to provide about that person or that individual. Or it's been suggested that we invite our viewers on to talk about the people that they've lost as well. So that's coming up on October 24th. And for every $60 we raise, I think we've raised just a little under $100 right now. For every $60 we raise, we can purchase a donation to the World Wildlife Fund, Monarch Fund, to help preserve the monarch's natural habitats and raise more awareness for the plight of the monarch, because they're an endangered species. Their habitats are getting bulldozed and demolished, and they're having fewer and fewer places where they can actually live and breed and eat. So it's a bit of a problem. So definitely, if you can contribute, and we'll read something about your dearly departed loved ones on our Storytime broadcast, on our Remember Me for Dia de los Muertos, but it'll be on October 24th, last Sunday of the month. So looking forward to hearing from everyone and seeing you all there. And as Christina would say, respect yourself more than anyone else will, and all will be fine. Are there monarchs in Canada? Out here there are. I think there's monarchs don't really live as far west as BC. There's sort of Ontario and Quebec. They used to, but yeah, with their population, their numbers dwindling. They're mostly through the eastern U.S. into the Midwest U.S. and then Ontario and Quebec, and they migrate all the way down to Mexico for the winter. And a lot of the forests that they nest in over the winter are being bulldozed and harvested for lumber. So it's definitely something to
Two of the activists
to try. Yeah,
down in Mexico.
that's right. Two of the monarch activists were died under mysterious circumstances down there as well, and they get remembered every year as well. So, as Christina says,
Say
respect
goodbye,
yourself more than anyone else can, and all will be fine. And as Katie just said, so, all right, everyone take care. And as I'm always supposed to say, bye, Martin. Have a great night, everyone, and you'll all see Christina tomorrow on a broadcast. Take care. Bye.